Why, hello, everyone. Welcome to Jolene's Happy Time Craftcast. It is wonderful, absolutely wonderful to be with you today. So, thank you so much for joining me. A lot to get to today. We are totally organized and we have so many fun things to talk about. First thing that's up are my Happy Time happenings. Life on the farm. Fabulous. As you know, this has been 12 weeks in a row of retreats. And we are on week 10, I think. So this weekend is 10, then we have 11, and then 12. So three to go. And we're including the holidays in there because we have lots of family coming to stay. So we're going to treat it just like a retreat because we've got to clean all the rooms, flip all the beds, and get ready for 20 people. So it's going to be awesome. And I cannot wait. This weekend is the Satisfy Retreat. It's women's pelvic health, and we're very excited to be partnering with Sherry Ryba, and she's like a big deal. Like she's a yoga therapist, has written a book, and so lots of folks are coming to spend time with Sherry, and we cannot wait to be the host of that. Then next week is our tarot retreat, and you have been so awesome. You sold that one out. There's no room left at the inn, as they say. And I hope we'll do it again. This is our first time doing tarot, yoga, and art. And I'm expecting a pretty fantastic weekend. So more to come, more to come. Hopefully we'll be able to do it again next year. I'll have to have a conversation with my partner, Becca, about that. But I am so excited. I don't really know a whole lot about tarot. I know more about yoga and art, obviously. So I'm really excited to see how this collaboration goes together. So if you want to know more about our retreats, we'll link them in the show notes. It's bigravenfarm.com, probably /retreats, or just click the retreats tab at the top of the page. But lots and lots and lots about that. Um, so that's what's going on the farm. Those are my happy time happenings. And now it's time to have a little crafty chatter with today's guest. And I know you will do a really, really good job of welcoming McKenna Kornowski to the Happy Time Craftcast. McKenna is a mixed media painter, and she lives in a little greenhouse on 14 acres in northern Wisconsin, almost all the way to Michigan, with her husband and chickens, and she draws inspiration from the world around her. Her work celebrates humanity's connections to nature, inviting viewers to rediscover the wonder of being outdoors and to feel reverence and gratitude, as she says, in the beauty of our decor of Mother Earth. Mother Earth. So here she is. Please, please, please welcome McKenna Kornowski to the Happy Time Craftcast. There she is. Hi, McKenna.
Hello. Nice to be
Thank you so
here.
much for being here. And are you joining us from your studio with
Yep.
all of those lovely things around you?
Yes, I'm in my humble studio space downstairs in our house. Yep.
Love that. I have a basement studio too. I totally get that.
Yeah.
So you are a mixed media painter. When
Mhm.
you tell people that, do they kind of look at you like, what does that mean?
Um, I never really pause to I tell them immediately after. A mixed media painter is someone who uses all sorts of elements within their artwork. So I'm primarily an acrylic painter, but you'll see today
Okay.
that I use a lot of textiles in my work too. So mixed media just means using more than one item
Ex-
in your
ex-
paintings.
Yeah, definitely. So do you have, of all the things that you do you have like a favorite project, a favorite medium, a favorite technique? Like as a painter, like what lights you up?
So I love to go. One of my favorite things to do is to go rummage sailing and just to find,
Yes.
different. I'm gonna pick up some of the stuff that I have, just to find, pieces of
Mm,
lace that have been sitting in a little old lady's closet for years. Um,
usually
Doilies,
just in a box. Mm-hmm.
yeah, doilies
Loved. Mm-hmm.
are a favorite of mine. Handkerchiefs are really big with me. Like
Oh,
people don't use hankies anymore, but I
no.
buy them by the dozen, and I wash them and I repurpose them in my work. Um,
I
I
love.
just I just love to use things that give them new life. They've been sitting around.
Oh,
It's so exciting for me.
Oh, I totally agree. In fact, I have a project called Free the Doilies, because I feel like doilies are in a box or they're under a lamp or a box of Kleenex, right?
Yeah.
Like they're not really like showcased for the intricate artwork that they are.
Mhm.
So you incorporate them as backgrounds to your nature
Yeah.
inspired work then?
Yeah, so I just, I do lots of layering within my work. So here's a smaller painting that I can give you as an example. This is just, I think it's a 10-inch by 10-inch painting, but
Okay.
you see there's a whale, but underneath there's lace applique. So if I hold it like this, you can see it even better, but it is textural. And then
Yeah.
this was these strawberries up here. You can see the square of the piece of fabric that I used painted right over the top, but it was they were strawberry napkins. Um,
I love I've seen I've seen more and more people finding pieces of lace, wrapping them around a substrate and then just kind of using it like a paint by number
mhm.
and painting elements that they see. I haven't seen it so much with a focal point like yours, like the whale, but I would imagine that for those of us who haven't dabbled in painting lace, that might be a good starter project. I don't know. What do you think?
I think so. I think that, like you mean, kind of the paint by numbers, like that
Yeah.
painting. Yeah, it's so much fun for me, and you can be so brave and just so do whatever you want.
Right.
Don't be. I have so much. I have like you. I have so much textiles that it's like if I screw up a little bit, I'm not afraid because I can just I can start over with more textiles.
Right. Right. Not precious.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Okay. So, in preparation for your visit today, we did ask our community for some
Oh,
questions for
great.
you, and they did not disappoint. And so, let's get to those because the people want to know.
Cool.
All right, so here we go. So we know that you love thrifting for your art supplies. Have you found anything weird or wonderful that you've then ended up using in your art? Thank you,
Yeah.
Hannah. And-
I think I know Hannah. I think I know Hannah.
Oh,
Hey Hannah. I know a
awesome.
Hannah. I know a Hannah M. But
Okay.
okay. So the weirdest thing that I put in my art, the thing that make people's eyebrows go what,
Yeah.
is
Yes, we love that.
bugs. So wings of butterflies. I don't
Oh,
even craft these, but
right.
I find them on the side of the road. Like this is a dragonfly wing.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Super fun. My husband's like, please be safe when you pull over in traffic to pick up a dead bug. Please be safe.
You know, I am only judging that as awesome because just yesterday there was a dead grasshopper down here in my workshop, but it wasn't like just a cute little grasshopper. It was like a big extraterrestrial looking one.
Yeah.
And before it got to the vacuum, I had just a moment of going, that would make a really cool cyanotype sun print,
Oh,
like if
yeah. I love
but
saying
then
that.
right, but then the idea and the vacuum converged, like in one moment, and I didn't do it. But you little weirdo, I totally thought about it. Like I totally thought about it.
It's a thing. It's a thing. So the bugs, that's one of the weird things that I'll use.
Yeah.
Another thing, I don't have any on hand. You're gonna laugh at this, but I will
Oh,
go into like lingerie stores, like Vicky's, Victoria's Secret, and
okay.
find underwear that have like pretty lace patterns, and I won't buy them to wear them. I will buy them to put them in my artwork. So I've done that before too. That's another weird thing, and that's not
That's
even thrifting.
right. That's hardcore. Those are
Hmm.
expensive.
Hmm. They can
Like
be.
yeah, you must really like that lace pattern.
Yep.
I love that. Have you
Mhm.
ever tried sun printing with the butterfly wing?
I've never done that before. You mean like the cyanotype that you're talking
Yeah.
about? I have
Yeah.
not done that. I love the technique though. I love seeing people do
Mhm.
that. But that's a great idea. That's a great
Yeah.
idea.
going to file that one away for the next time we do cyanotype. That could be really amazing. Okay, here's another one. This is from Claire. Claire, thank you. As someone who's drawn to nature, how do you capture the feeling of the outdoors, the light, the texture, the energy in your painting? Ooh.
That's such a good question. Um, I think my answer to that would be, in its simplest form, I spend as much time outside as I can, and
Sure.
I try and bottle it up and bring it inside with me. You know,
Right.
because we're both in our basement studio spaces, and it kind of cuts you off from the outside world. But if I'm ever feeling uninspired, I go outside and I touch grass, as the kids say these days,
Right.
or I go for a walk in our little woods in our backyard, or I go on a bike ride. Um, that would be my response for Claire.
Sure. So did you go out last night? Did you have the Northern Lights spectacle that we had here in Minnesota?
No, actually, I don't. I have. We've tried to see the Northern Lights here. Every time they tell us on the TV, the Northern Lights,
Yeah.
the Northern Lights. I think we live close to Green Bay, Wisconsin. So I think we live a little too close to a city that
Sure.
that there's lots of. I don't. I mean, we live out in the country, but there is still light pollution. So I did not see the Northern Lights. But what an inspiration that would be.
Oh, I mean, so you go outside, or at least I did last night. I went outside and I was like, I can't really see anything.
Yeah.
And then you hold up your camera and you're like, what is this sorcery? Um, I mean, vibrant red, vibrant green.
Wow.
I was even able to get one photo where I have purple, green, blue, and like a really bright pink.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
McKenna, I didn't see it with my eyeballs. I only saw it through my phone, but it was really kind of I mean, it was spectacular.
Wow.
Um, certainly, inspiring.
Yeah.
I would say too that, like for those of us who dabble in maybe watercolor, or trying to get better at that medium, the Northern Lights to me last night felt very watercolor inspired, kind of, mushy and blendy and really kind of no wrong way to do it, I would say.
I love that. I didn't know the hack about the cell phone, but next time
Yeah.
maybe my husband will try, taking a
Yeah.
video of it or a photo.
Yeah. Like I couldn't see it with my eyes. And then I put my phone up and I just couldn't even believe it. So,
That's
all
neat.
right. So thank you, Claire, for your question. Here is another one. So Tessa knows that you talk about repurposed materials probably on your socials or website.
Mhm.
How do you decide what's worth saving for
Oh,
art and what to let go of? I mean, that's a great question. I don't know that I even have an answer for that. I keep so much. It's
I am
ridiculous.
just, gosh, okay. So that's such a good question, Tessa. So I have, not only do I find things at garage sales personally, but I have friends and family members that know that I do this. So they're always bringing, handkerchiefs, lace. Someone once gave me a wedding dress, which was such an honor. So what I do tell them, though, I am a little bit picky.
Hmm.
I don't want the I don't want the fabric to be too thick, because then it takes a really long time to dry, and it's actually pretty
Yeah.
difficult to paint over the top of. If I want to, paint a bear over the top, or a fox's tail over the top, it can be really.
Right.
So I try and keep the lace, not much thicker.
Right. With openings, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
That
But otherwise, I am not discerning.
well, and I have, being a doily person with my Free the Doily project that a lot of folks have seen, because what we do is we take doilies and we put them against a black velvet substrate, lay out our composition, and then use a detailed hot glue gun and glue down the edges. I think it always works better with circles, because you do want some negative space so that you really get the highs and lows and the contrast between the velvet and the doily. And
Mhm.
then put that in a tricked out, big, chunky gold frame, and it's
Beautiful.
breathtaking.
That
Yeah,
sounds
we've got them
gorgeous.
all over the farm, but I have not tried painting on them, and you've inspired me. I want
Hmm.
to try that,
Hmm.
especially the more lacy ones.
Yeah.
And I'm also thinking about, so, okay, visualize. Let's see if we can't solve this as a think tank. So, a whole bunch of doilies. around different size embroidery hoops, right? So you've got different, okay, yeah. So you've got different sizes, and then how we get them together to form a larger composition. Like, how do we get the embroidery hoops to touch,
That's cool.
right?
Yeah.
Right? So I'm working on that. If anybody has an idea about that, because
Just
once you use the embroidery hoop, you can't really use that edge anymore.
that's true.
So it's like, am I wiring it on the back? Am I clipping it? Am I gluing it? But can you see it? Like
Yes.
lots of different size circles.
Yes.
It's
I
in
love
my
that.
heart, mind. I
Mhm.
haven't figured it out yet. So,
Like,
okay, community, help a girl out. How am I
help
going to
us.
get all those embroidery hoops together? Because I don't want 24 nails in the wall. Like I want it to be one piece.
Right. It's almost like you have to find, if you're handy, I know you're handy, you could create your own wooden frame and then fit them, fit them
Ah,
tightly inside. Um, that's just an
maybe like
idea.
with risers or something, like like a wood block riser to get
Yeah.
it up so they're
hmm
actually connected on the back.
hmm
Okay, now we're cooking with gas. That's what happens here. I love that. Okay, one more for you here. And Zoe, thank you. Zoe gets nervous about ruining artwork. So do I. How do you stay brave and playful when you're afraid of messing up?
Oh, it's either Zoe or Zoe. That's such a sweet question.
Really?
I feel for you, girl.
Yeah,
Um,
we've all been there. Yeah.
yeah, because sometimes you know, um, you go to Dick Blick or you go to an art supply store and you can drop like $150, $200 on really expensive supplies, and you get really, like, to use your word, Jolene, you get really precious with it. Um,
Yes.
Gosh, that's such a good question. I think it's just I paint every day, so I've had the practice of,
Yep.
I make, excuse my French, but I make shitty art on the daily. I do. Oh, excuse my French, but I do, and it's something that you have to work past because you won't always be screwing up.
Right.
It's for me,
Right.
it's like 50-50. I'll tell you, the other day, my husband and we have a nice bonfire pit in our front yard, and I burnt a painting that I absolutely hated, and I said goodbye to it, and that was it. Sometimes you just,
You released.
yeah, you need to release
Yeah.
it.
Well, I would say that my answer to this question, very similar to what you said, honest to goodness, I think it's practice. I
Mm-hmm.
think the more art you make, the more shitty art you make, the better your art becomes. And I think that for me, like in my experience, if I hold on too tight to an outcome, I'm not really enjoying myself very much, right? Like I think that like staying present in a space of play, and what helps me is art journaling, where it doesn't matter. It's not going on the wall. It's not going to be a print. It's not going to be a sticker. It's not going to be anything other than the practice of my connecting hand-eye movement, connecting, just being playful and not caring. Like honestly, I think that's what works for me is
Mm-hmm.
the more I make where I don't care, the more I find.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
some kind of source. Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's true.
Crafty friends, what do you think? Let me know in the comments because
Yeah.
I know you've got this.
One more thing to add to that too, Jolene, is that
Yeah.
with acrylic, it's so nice because acrylic dries so quickly, and I can just
Mm.
paint over the top of it. I don't know Zoe, what your medium is, but if it's anything like acrylic, just wait a couple hours, or if you're really impatient like me, use your hair dryer, dry it, paint over the top of it.
Yeah,
Try again. Life is beautiful like that.
exactly. Well, and isn't like gesso like an amazing little product? Like
Mhm.
I do that all the time. Like it looks
Mhm.
like garbage. Whoosh, clean slate, clean
Yep.
slate.
Yep.
Deb, who's a good friend of Big Raven Farm and myself,
Mhm.
says someone told me if your art isn't working, push it as far as you can to learn everything it has to teach you. Aw, I love that.
I
What
agree.
if I, right? Like, what if I tried this? Or yeah, that's a great solution or
Yeah.
practice for
Yeah.
this question. Thank
Yeah.
you, Deborah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Love. Okay, so McKenna, tell us then, how do we find you? How do we support you in your artwork? What have you got going on?
Uh,
What's the scoop?
well, thanks for asking. I have an Instagram account that you can go to always. It's McKenna Kornowski Art. That's what you would search on Instagram. I
And
also
we'll the show notes, of course. Yes, yes.
cool because it's long. It's a
Yeah,
mouthful. Um,
yeah.
my website is the same. It's mckennakornowskiart.com.
Yep.
And that would be a great place to go if you'd like to follow my art adventures further. I always encourage people to join my mailing lists because I love to reach out to personally to people via email that way too. So those are the two
Love
outlets.
that.
Yeah, not a lot of. I'm not on a whole bunch of social media outlets, but Instagram is the big one for me.
No, that's okay. And we love supporting other artists. Absolutely. And I think you've got a couple of ways that we can do that. You
Mhm.
want to tell our listeners about the PDF and the calendar?
Yeah, definitely. So the first one, it's something that I call Creative Pursuit, and it's a PDF that if you go to my website, there'll be a window that automatically pops up that prompts you to sign up for my mailing list. And once you do that, I send you an email with this PDF called Creative Pursuit, which is simply a list of a few different, 11 different ways that I personally use if I'm feeling creatively stuck in order to generate ideas and to generate creativity. So that I worked really hard on that, and I feel really strongly about all 11 of those methods of
That's awesome.
generating art and ideas. So that's
Yes. And we all get stuck. We all get stuck.
oh yeah.
Like I want to make something, but I don't know what. Like I
Hmm.
do that all the time. And
Hmm.
so I can't wait to see it myself. That's very generous. Thank you.
Yeah.
And tell us about your calendar.
Cool. So this I'm so excited about because I've been thinking about making a calendar for probably 4 or 5 years now, and I finally
Mhm.
was able to do it. So here's my calendar. It's an art calendar, obviously, and it is. Let's see here if I can hold it well. Um, it's very nifty because I've got each month with a beautiful art print of mine, and once the month is over with, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a line at the top,
Yep.
dotted line at the bottom, and it's meant for the person who owns the calendar to cut out the image and frame it. So each image for the calendar is a frameable print too, and
So it's perforated, friends. It's
yeah,
like you can get it out,
yeah,
and then you can frame it. That's lovely,
yeah,
absolutely lovely. And you
yeah,
can definitely see McKenna's connection to nature. There's turtles,
yeah.
and
It's
yep,
all
I love
nature. It's all nature.
it's all nature.
Yep, an
Oh, good
egret.
for you. Look at
Yeah.
that. Love it. Okay, so there's going to be a link in the show notes because you had a sale, right? And the sale
Mhm.
ended on
It
Halloween.
ended, yeah, it ended a week after Halloween. So the pre-sale for my calendar ended, but since I'm doing this podcast with you, I decided I'd open it back up with a private link, and I'll share that link with you so you can put it in the show notes.
I'll put it in the show notes. Thank you. That's really, really generous. And I've got a great community. So I know
Cool.
that they are excited to hear about all of this.
Oh,
So
thanks.
thank you. I'd like you to stay around with me as I switch gears here a little bit. One of our features is that we've got a book nook for makers. And so the book that I'm reviewing today, it's called Creative Doodling and Beyond. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's got a copyright of 2011. It's still available on online places where one buys books. It is written by Stephanie Corfey. Stephanie, if you're listening, we would love to have you on the show to talk more about your ideas. But I doodle sometimes, but I sometimes forget options of what I can do. And almost like your 11 ideas for getting unstuck, I sometimes need that with doodling as well. And so this book comes with ideas and prompts. And then you'd have a practice space over to the side, or you can just go right into your art journal. And one of the ideas, there are several in this book. In fact, let me just do a little switcheroo here. One of the ideas, or several is, so we're getting into kind of gifty season. So Stephanie has this idea about doodling gift tags. I love that. She's also got this idea about blind doodles. And for a creative, I don't know what to make, I think this is a really great idea. We're going to circle back to that. I love this idea. It's family handprints. And then you doodle inside and you make a lovely frameable piece of art. I think that's pretty cool at gift giving time. And then she's also got a fun way to do portraits. So those are just a couple of ideas, but I want to show you how I have used this book in practice. So Stephanie has this idea about doing a blind doodle. And so this is what I did in preparation for our visit today. And I also thought it would be a good time to maybe use some of the tools that I have on hand that I don't always pull out. So for Christmas, I think it was last year, my perfect children gave me the best gift, and they gave me one of these color cubes. Does anybody have this? I struggle with color. I don't know why. It's a mental block. It's dumb. But this helps me because sometimes I feel like I'm just going to make a mess. So what I did was I pulled a color, and there's a lot of them in here. You can see if you're watching, I'm having a hard time getting it out. Okay, look at this one. So I pulled a card, and that's beautiful. It's card 361. And these are the color cubes by Sarah Renee Clark. It's probably backwards to you, but I have volume 2. And so I pulled a card. I have no objections to this color palette. I think it's amazing. Let's try it. Okay. So pink, apricot, salmon, a blue, gray, a gray, and a charcoal. Okay. So I'm going to use these silly cards that I haven't used very often. And then I also thought, okay, what about these things? I just had to have them. And I don't use markers very often. And I was influenced by social media. And so I bought them. So, okay. And so what I did was, okay, what do you think is like a cream pink? Maybe this guy here. So pull a cream pink. Pull something that looks apricot-y, which to me kind of looks like, do you think that looks brownish? Boy, I don't know. See, this is why I have trouble. I overthink. So intuitively, I'm trying to get that guy right there. So I'm going to go with that. And then with a salmon, I'm going to go with that. And then with a blue-gray, can you all see this, yeah? With a blue-gray, I kind of feel, ooh, I have one. A blue-gray, a gray, and a charcoal. So let's say that to me might be warm gray. All right, so I've pulled my colors, all right, and then let's go back then to Stephanie's idea. Stephanie says, just make a little swirly, like a blind doodle. So we're not going to think about it very much. I'm just in one of my art journal signatures, and one of the problems that I have noticed with this technique is I'm using watercolor paper. And because this kind of watercolor paper has a lot of tooth in it, I sometimes get resistance. But basically, the idea is don't think about it too much and just make a random doodle like that. Okay, that was really fun. And then you kind of want to come back in and you make smaller sections. I learned this in my practice one because if you have a section that's just, it's so big, I don't know if it's a patience or an interest kind of thing, but I found that I don't want to color it that much. Like I want it to be a lot smaller so that I don't run out of gas, right? So then just lots of little doodles and scribbles and whatnot. And then she also leaves negative space. So if we do a circle, we want to leave a little bit there, do a little bit here, and then come back maybe with some like standard doodle business, arches or leaves or waves. This is what I'm talking about. So this watercolor paper is kind of toothy. You can probably even hear it, the way that it is kind of catching and then kind of spitting. I don't really mind it because I'm not the kind of person that gets bothered about that kind of stuff. But if you wanted like a really clean version, you might not want to use watercolor paper. You might want to use something else with a little less teeth to it. Okay, so then I go back, I picked my colors and the markers that I never use, and then I just started by coloring in a section. And what I like to do here is I like to think about my color theory in triangles. So if I put this apricot color here, I feel like I need to put one over here and over here. I don't know if that's a Joleen thing or if that's the way a lot of people feel about that. But I like to have just a little bit of balance. Again, in this practice, I don't want to color a big thing. I'm not interested in it because it'll take too long. I would rather color in lots of baby things than one big one. And so look at this. So in this blind doodle idea, like not only are we letting go of perfection, but we're also using some of these supplies, crafty friends. And I'm talking to you because I'm talking to myself, that we just had to have. And maybe we don't use them very often. So, and then we come back in, fill in this section. Now I've made my color triangle working in thirds. I do the same thing when I'm like decorating in my home, right? Like with lights. I want lights to be in triangles. And so you just keep going and you keep adding. And this is what my first one looks like. And I still have all of these places to continue to doodle. And I drew my inspiration from Sarah's suggestion, and hers looks like this. So like with a little bit of practice, I mean, I love that. I love that. Look at, like, she's made little, reminds me a little bit of like a Dr. Seuss kind of, poofy flower. And what I love about Sarah's book is she says too, like, just use this space, practice inside of this space, and just, connect your hand-eye coordination and just see what you get. As far as my project goes, now I have started, right? And when I don't know what to make, I can come back and keep working on and embellishing this little doodle in my art journal that isn't precious, right? Like this isn't not going in a museum, not going to be a print, not going to be a sticker. It's just for me. So let me tell you the name of that book one more time, Creative Doodling and Beyond. It's by Stephanie Corfey, copyright 2011. Lots of good ideas and things for you to give a try. So that's my book recommendation for this week. And I would say like 10 out of 10, right? Like it's a really awesome book. So McKenna, what do you think? Do you do much doodling in your world?
I do. So I attend a lot of art fairs, and I
Mm-hmm.
doodle. I doodle all the time when I'm at art fairs. That's when
Me
I do the most of my drawing because you know
Right.
I have to stay alert and present for
Yeah.
customers, but I also I always got to do something with my hands. So I doodle, and
Mm,
it looks like a neat book. And I was really impressed with that. I've never heard of the color cube before.
yeah.
I'm gonna buy one of those.
Yeah, and Deborah was just saying here that there's been a little bit of feedback because so many folks are like struggling to like get them out of the box, and I really was. But what I love about the color cubes is for people like me who, I work with books and I work with book paper,
Mhm,
and I don't paint it. I don't really mess with it because I just love the way book paper looks.
mhm.
So when it comes time to do a project with color, I just don't really have a lot of confidence. And so this product helps me. It also helps me when I just want to practice because if I didn't have it, I would just grab what looks good and may or may not like it when I'm done. Who knows?
Right. Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. All right, but I highly recommend. Awesome, awesome book. All
Cool.
right. So, other things that I would like to get to today is I like to make sure that we leave enough time to talk about some other things that we might want to make. And so, my project today that I'd like to share with all of you is I have been my friend Paige had this idea, McKenna, that I should use album covers. in a piece of art, because so many folks are getting rid of records and don't really want them and don't really have a use for them, necessarily. And so kind of the challenge was laid, like, okay, Joleen, make something out of album covers. And so I just thought I would share with you what I came up with. So now I know that I'm a lucky maker because I have a laser, well, they call them a printer, but it's really a cutter. And so I was able to get really nice cuts. But if you did not have a laser cutter printer, you could still do this with a craft knife. So this is what I came up with. I decided to make a lady called For the Record, and her hair is made out of album covers that I just built into a mosaic. And so they're basically triangles, and angles and just kind of random crazy until I was able to get her hair. She is a laser printed image because I used matte medium and got her wet. And so if you use an inkjet image, you're just going to have like a sneeze, not cute. So a laser printed image, matte medium, and then the album that came from one of these guys, I put it in my guillotine, and that was actually kind of scary because it like ricocheted all over the place. But I was able to get a good cut, and she's called For the Record. So my idea is that if you too have some albums that are not precious, and none of these were, like the jackets were just so far gone, and like I think they were sitting in somebody's basement for probably 30 years, and they were just excited to get rid of them. I just removed the back from the front, started cutting, started mosaicing, and I used a craft knife to get my pieces nice and tight. So let me know if you try it. Let me know what you think. McKenna, do you do much in the way of mosaic?
I don't, but I'm really fascinated by it.
No, right? I mean, I do a lot of mosaic either with like book board pieces. I guess last week we were talking about, she had this idea, Miriam had an idea of mosaicing with those little flat gems that you can get at the dollar store.
Yes,
And so,
I watched that.
yeah. Oh, did you? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I
So
watched
I
it.
go out and get some.
Cool.
And so she was doing a coffee mug, and she had images, behind here. And so I'm going to do a bowling ball. And
Love that idea. I
yeah,
love
so
that
I'm gonna do a
idea.
bowling ball. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
You could get a bowling ball anywhere for like 50 cents. So
it's
I'm
true.
going to do a bowling ball, and I'm going to do faces. I was thinking black and white faces. And then my whole bowling ball is going to be a mosaic of these little jobbers and faces.
That's so
So
neat. That
we'll
is,
see. We'll see
yeah.
how it works, or what I'm going to put it on. And, goodness sakes, if it ever fell.
Yeah, yeah. I know you can get lighter ones, but yeah, still that would be that because you're gonna add to the weight by adding
Right.
the globes on them. So
Or I could use
triple.
a styrofoam ball, like I wouldn't have to be this crazy. I have 3 bowling balls. And
Mhm.
so this is my idea. We'll see how far we get.
I love that.
Yeah, even Diane. Hi, Diane. Hi, sweetie. She says I could use the record as a mosaic base. Yeah, totally. And then you could there's already a hole right in the middle. Diane, that's such a good idea. Like you could hang it right from the middle, and you could have all kinds of cool stuff on it. Diane, you're a genius. I love it. Okay, so McKenna, back to you. So tell us a little bit about, my community loves tools. We
Mhm.
love tools. We love gadgets. Tell us a little bit about some of your favorite uh, mediums or tools, or like what must you have in your arsenal?
Okay, what I must have in my arsenal is
Yeah.
definitely palette knives. So I have a
Oh,
ton of these palette knives. I have big fat ones. I have little
yeah.
pointy ones. Let's see. I have
You could decorate a cake with some of those.
yes, it is. I tell people too when I paint, it's like decorating a cake. So I always start off with the typical acrylic
Yeah.
paint that is nice and flat, but
Yeah.
I finish off a painting with with lots of textural brush strokes. So you can see I have my signature scalloping
Oh,
of the
yeah,
edges that I do. So here's the finished painting of the campfire and the moon, but then I scallop the edges as my version of framing. So
yeah,
I mix the paint, I mix the pigment right in with something it's called modeling paste, and I can
yeah.
get that out too. I buy it by the gallon because I use so much. But
I love that.
yeah, it's so stinky. That's my only complaint about it. But you mix it right in with the paint. It takes on the color of the paint, and then I apply it with a palette knife. Um, so
I
that's
love palette, McKenna. That is so cool.
yeah,
It's, like it's very sweet, kind of a cottagey core kind of vibe mixed with, the element of the outdoors. I love
Mhm.
it.
Thank you. I'm glad you like the color palette.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and then another thing that I use a lot of, it's more of a material and not a tool, but
Yeah.
this is just an acrylic medium. It's a matte medium that I use with, I'll lay the lace down and I'll paint this over the top, leave it overnight, and it like you'd be really hard pressed to try and take the mixed media off once it's on the canvas. But that
Yeah.
is a huge tool in my arsenal, definitely.
Oh,
Uh,
I love matte medium. I think that what surprises me about matte medium is the range of thicknesses.
mhm,
So, like, you can get a Liquitex matte medium and it's pretty fluid.
mhm.
And then, you can get some others where this one I think is probably a heavy body, but like, look at this stuff. This is absolute insanity. It's
Whoa!
almost like, yeah,
Wow! Wow! Yeah.
yeah. It, I don't even know how to describe it. It's
Butter.
like a thinner modeling paste almost.
Yes.
Really smooth, a little
Thank you.
stinky, excuse me.
Yeah, they do. They do stink.
Yeah, it gets me every time.
Hmm.
Um, but as far as, like dwell time, like this is the one I'm gonna pull when I want things to slip for a little while. Like
Hmm.
I need just a little bit of time to make up my mind about where it goes. And
Hmm.
so this one has a longer dwell time. And this one is a heavy bodied matte medium. So very different than the Liquitex.
And
It could
it
this
dries textural. Sorry,
one.
you said dries textural, so that's really unique. And I
Oh yeah, retro for sure. Oh yeah, it's awesome.
yeah, the chat Deborah just said it reminds her of lard.
Yeah.
It
It
kind of
does.
looks like
It looks
lard.
like, Deborah, it looks like Crisco. Like it
Mhm,
absolutely does. Like that's a
mhm,
really good description for what that
mhm.
stuff looks like. But
Yeah.
it has its time and place. It's
Mhm.
not what I grab every time, but
Yeah.
when I want heavy-bodied brushstroke or when I need a little bit of time to make up my mind, I
Mhm.
love that I have the ability to do so.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I speaking of you were just saying paint decoration. I don't use
Yes.
this as often, but this is like so fun for me. My sister gave me this idea, actual cake frosting pipettes and
Yeah.
tips, and I fill it in with the modeling paste colored with my paint.
Yeah.
You can decorate your paintings
I
with that. That's
love
so much
it.
fun. Yes.
Right. Oh
Mhm.
my gosh. I love that idea. I mean, I've seen folks, come at it with a palette knife and the modeling paste and the mix. But what I really appreciate about your approach is that we still have our turtle or our animal or
Mhm.
our lake, and we still have like other elements of the composition that I think are just really, really lovely and
Thank
like
you.
just inspire happiness, which is what we are all about. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you see that everything plays a role. Not often do you see one element overpowering another. It is nice and balanced most of the time.
Yeah, I saw that in your calendar too. Like it's lovely. It just inspires happiness, which
Thank you.
I think is probably why I'm drawn to you and your artwork. It's and I think like the world has its place for its serious artists, but then there are those of us too who, I don't know, enjoy the play,
Mhm,
enjoy not taking it so seriously, who,
mhm,
might look to this as like a day for me. And I know you said you paint every day, but a day for me without making something is a very unusual day,
mhm.
even if I'm just making a little bit of progress.
Yeah.
right? Like I might not be making and completing a great big thing,
Yeah.
but I have to dabble. I have
Yeah.
to dabble every day. And I know a lot of my community is the exact same way. Like
Mm-hmm.
we our little, we talk a lot about go bags, right? Like like the projects you do in the car or the projects you do while you're
Sure.
waiting in line or the projects you do while you're watching TV. Like
Yes.
we have kind of zone defense here on like what we can do in what kind of space. And I
Yeah.
think I love that. It's happiness. Big, big
Yeah.
happiness. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Totally.
All right. Well, if you can believe it, we are almost out of time. I cannot
Really?
believe. I know
That
time
was
goes
fast.
so fast, and it just wouldn't be the Happy Time Craftcast without getting to our Happy 10. And I know you know about this. So these are 10 questions, and you can give one word answers, you can elaborate, you can do whatever you want to do. Whatever makes you happy. But hopefully the questions aren't too hard. Our first one, and I'd love to see your answers in the comments too, friends. What is your favorite word? And I realize this can jump. Like this isn't a forever and ever, but like right now today, McKenna, what
Yeah.
is your favorite
Okay. I think it's a made up word that my
word?
father-in-law uses a lot. It's called crump. And we can you can use it in place of a swear word. Like
Oh, nice.
what the crump? What the crump?
Yeah,
Or
let's hear it.
like or just say, oh, like in place of darn, like, oh, crumps, I forgot to bring my grab bag with me today.
Right,
Or
right.
so that's my favorite word as it stands right now. I think it just makes
That's
me giggle.
so cute. I'm going to use that because right now, well, so it's retreat season, and we haven't seen the kids very much because we've been busy, with this other thing. And I mean, they're all grown-ups, so they're treacherous, and they grew up and they moved away anyway. So it's not like they're home and I'm just not paying attention to them, but they're grown up with their own lives. Damn them. But anyway,
Oh.
um, so I'm totally teasing. So the word that's my favorite word right now is annoyatating. Because when our kids were little, Georgie, our middle daughter, was frustrated with her brothers. And in the heat of the moment, she was trying to say that one of them, I can't remember which, was being annoying and irritating. And so she mushed them together and she said that they are annoying.
I love
And
that.
and I think because I'm missing them so much right now, I've kind of been playing annoyatating
Oh,
in my mind.
yeah.
Heat, favorite words of all time.
That's so
So
cute. I
annoying.
love that.
I know, annoyatating how much little buggers. All right. So then, do you also have a least favorite word?
Oh yeah. What was it? Okay, yes. Phlegm. Phlegm is a really
Oh,
gross word.
it is a word.
Isn't that gross?
It conjures up texture.
Oh, and it's gross to even say, but that's the word that right now I don't like. Phlegm.
Yeah. That word even has a sound. It has a texture, it has a sound, it has a
Hmm.
color. Oh yeah, that's a
Hmm.
nasty word. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I feel like right now for me, like the word that sets me on edge, it's more of a colloquialism. Like it's a thing that we all say and we oversay it, but like I hear it and I just like, you
Hmm.
know, it is what it is. I
Hmm.
hate that. I hate that so much.
It
And I
is what
can't
it
really,
is.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I feel like it's overused. It becomes an excuse. It
Hmm.
becomes like one of those things that just explains everything, but yet it explains nothing, you
Yeah.
know? And so it frustrates me. So like, and I feel like it's just a word that we've overused, and so it's lost context, right? And
Mhm.
maybe I'm easily annoyated.
You are so annoyated right now. I can't
Yeah,
believe
I'm
no.
so annoyated with that. Absolutely.
No,
Okay,
I agree with you though.
well, thank you. Thank you. Okay, most important question, because my favorite food is toast. What is the best sandwich?
Okay, this I just had one this past weekend. My husband and I were in Madison, and I got to have a lox bagel sandwich, which is just like a cold smoked salmon on a
Yeah.
homemade bagel. Cream cheese. I had like scallion cream cheese on an everything bagel. Sometimes you can put capers or tomato and lettuce and red onion on it and make it like the whole deal. But you can just simplify it too. It's very East Coast, and I don't know why I love it so much because I am not from the East Coast, but I
Right.
love it because it's savory, salty, lots of texture, a lox sandwich. And it's not for everybody.
Yeah, it sounds like it's got all the things.
Mm-hmm.
So who was I talking to yesterday? Oh, I know. I was doing a live stream yesterday, and of course, talking about food because I was hungry. And so we were talking about like what's everybody making for dinner. And somebody said make an avocado toast, but add blueberries and balsamic.
What?
I know, right? I
I would
haven't
try
tried
it.
it.
I
I
would
haven't tried
try it.
it, but I believe in the whole acid salt
Yeah.
fire heat situation. So
Yeah.
I believe those components,
Mm-hmm.
like all individually. So yeah,
It
I'm
sounds
intrigued.
good.
Has
I would
anybody?
try it. Mm-hmm.
I would try that. I
Mm-hmm.
think I love balsamic on watermelon. Um,
Mm-hmm.
people eat it. I heard yesterday on a podcast. I was listening to Don Lemon, and he
Yeah.
was talking about apples and goat cheese and balsamic.
Yeah. I love fruit and cheese of any kind. It's a great, yeah, it's a
Oh,
great combo.
oh, and let's just throw in some balsamic because that's good,
Yeah.
and just see what
Mm.
we get. I love it. Okay, all
Mhm.
right. Circling back to the more serious. Okay, so McKenna, you're an artist, right? What does that mean to you? What does it mean to you that in this world you present as an artist?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. And I could go really deep with my answer, but I'm going to try and just use a one word answer or
Yeah.
response. It's freedom. The
Mm.
freedom to, as a small business owner, to
Yeah.
decide what I'm going to do that day,
Sure.
decide what paint, what colors I'm going to use that
Hmm.
day, decide what size canvas I can use, decide what world I want to go down in
Yeah,
that day. It's freedom. That's the word that comes to my mind when I think of being an artist.
I love that. I think so I think for me right now it's all very like environmental and situational. I think that for me being an artist is about my approach to problem solving, and my approach to creative living, I would say.
Mhm.
Like I don't feel too stuck in any kind of a box. I
Mhm.
feel like boxes have doors and windows. Like I can get out of that box.
Yes.
Um, and so it probably is very similar to feelings of freedom.
Mhm.
Um, that I just really feel like for me, it's a really great approach. It's like there are just like you don't run out of options let me use I statements, when I think artistically. Like I don't think I ever run into a no way out kind of situation, either in art or in life or in our businesses. Like it just kind of opens up the ability to brainstorm
Mhm.
and kind of hash it out.
Yeah.
And I also love that, being an artist to me has brought me a community of people that I love them so much. I mean, you've gotten a little taste of them today, but they
Yeah.
are amazing. I'm
Oh.
just to be surrounded by these amazing people. So
Yeah.
I love them. I love them so much. And now you're a part of it. So there you
Yeah,
go.
I have subscribed to your podcast and your
Oh,
YouTube
nice.
channel, so I am a part of that
You
that
are. You're
audience
in
now.
it. You are
Hmm.
absolutely in it. Okay, so now you're outside and
Hmm.
you love nature. So
Hmm.
you might have more experience with this next question than a lot of us, but do you believe there is a scary animal? And if so, what is the scariest animal?
Yeah, there's definitely scary animals.
There?
I think most of them, if you're in the woods in northern Wisconsin, if it's a deer, if it's a raccoon, if it's a possum, they're gonna scurry away from you.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
scary animals don't really reside in my backyard, but if you go
Sure.
north they do. Moose, if you run into a moose on a
Ooh,
bad day, they
yeah.
can, they can charge you. They get, especially a bull moose.
Right.
That and I lived in Washington State for a while, which we were close to Canada, and I know there were grizzly bears north of us. So grizzly bears are also I have an appreciation and a respect for grizzly bears
Definitely.
and moose.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, have you seen any social media videos of the guy who um lays in a park with peanuts on him and just lets the squirrels come and like eat the
No,
peanut off of him. Like
no.
he just lays like super, super still because, he's saying like animals are just as curious about us as we are about them. And
Yeah.
so he just lays in a park, like stone still,
Oh
covers
God.
himself with peanuts in the shell. And before you know it, he has animals, like coming in
Everywhere.
the bay, basically. And now I don't know if I have that kind of bravery, because I'm kind of a baby. But I right now, so last night I went outside to check out the northern lights,
Mhm.
and Darren was shopping, and so it's just Augie, the world's best dog, and me home. And I was, using my camera to capture the northern lights, and then in my camera there were eyeballs like staring back at me.
Oh.
I had like an unreasonable response. like, like my blood ran cold, and I was like, "Oh, is this my moment? Is this the big one?" And so I like tripped to back up to get back up the stairs, and
Yeah.
the eyes were still there. And I had that conversation like, "Okay, Jolene, you're crazy. Like that's not what that is." And then I heard like a snort.
What
Um,
was it?
it was a deer. It was a
Oh.
deer. And then the deer ran away. But my imagination is
Mhm.
the scariest animal because
Mhm. Mhm. Yes.
like I don't know what I was expecting or what I thought was gonna happen, but I was
Mhm.
like ready for battle,
Yes.
like this whole
Yes.
fight or flight situation.
Mhm.
It was so dumb. And Augie could have given two shits. Like he was just like he's like, I don't know why you are reacting this way. Like, there are no predators out
Yeah.
here. Like,
Yeah.
just you. But yeah, so my
That's
answer
funny.
today, my imagination.
That's a
Scary,
good answer. Mhm. Me
hands
too.
down.
Me too.
Okay, what about this one, McKenna? So you are an artist and that's your profession, but if you weren't, is there another profession that you would like to attempt?
This is a hard one for me because I do love my job so much. I
Yeah.
wouldn't really truly want to be doing anything else. But I did give it some thought, and I think a historian or a paleontologist would be really cool. Someone
Yeah.
who researches the past in some form,
Yeah.
and uses tools like I do today. Uses tools to discover things or dig things up. It would be such a fascinating profession, I
I
think.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that answer. And it's still creative. You could be out there with
Mhm.
like a little broom,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Dusting off the fossils and whatnot.
Totally.
Oh, I've never considered that. That's
Hmm.
brilliant.
Hmm.
I change this answer every week. Um, in the back of my mind, I kind of always thought I would be like an art professor, maybe.
I can
Um,
see that.
yeah.
The
Um,
glasses. Hmm.
yeah, right. And I'm so academic. But I was thinking maybe like the idea of, because what I didn't know in my formative years was that I didn't know that I could be an artist because I can't draw like at all. Like you do not want me as your Pictionary partner, except I'm a hell of a guesser, gotta say. But like I don't really have like the skill set, and I've also never really practiced. I just not good at it, moved on. So I didn't know that like mixed media and the art of building or mosaicing or folding or manipulating was considered an art form. And so I think it would be kind of cool to be that person to say, "Oh my gosh, of course you can make a mobile out of books." Like
Hmm.
absolutely.
Hmm.
So that to me seems like kind of like a I'm done in the retreat business game.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that. But I
Yeah.
don't think it has to be grown-ups. Like I don't think that I have this skill set for little people.
For kids. Yeah. Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that. I'm
Yeah.
I'm kind of the opposite. If I were to be a teacher, I think younger would be more. I'm not great at speaking in front of big groups of people, so I think kids who are just fun and brave.
Yeah. They just
I
love you the way you show up.
Yeah, it would depend certainly
Yeah.
though, but
Yeah, definitely. Well, I have, and it's like, okay, does one have to have their PhD to do that? And it's like, should I be thinking about that on the side? Can I get there with my master's degree? Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Um, and I don't know. Who knows? I'm just spitballing. Okay, what about this? What about this? Is there a profession where you're like, nope, not doing
Oh,
that. That's not my
yeah.
job.
Um, I feel bad for saying this because someone out there's got to do it, but there are a lot of porta potties at art shows that
Yeah.
I do, I would not want to be the porta john guy that had
Oh,
to pick them up or,
no,
wash them out every night.
no,
Couldn't do that. My stomach is not made for
no.
that. No.
Bless them
Yeah.
and their service.
Seriously.
I I have done art fairs, and I did the Susan G. Komen breast cancer 3-day. Do
Ooh,
you know what that is?
I don't.
That is a 60-mile walk
Whoa.
over the course of 3 days. And
Whoa.
I did that.
Good for
And
you.
what I learned, as related to your example, is that you do not want to be at the back of the pack. You in front. Like, you
Yep.
do not want to be getting to the fueling station or the rest station in the
Ew.
rear. Like, I'll just
No.
leave it at that. But
Yeah.
that is a thing that will never leave my memory.
Yep. Yep. You're completely right. It can in the middle of summer.
That's
Oh,
right. You
it can
want to
get
be in the
bad.
front of the pack. You want to
Mhm.
be in the beginning where
Mhm.
life is still good and fresh. So yes, totally agree. All right. Okay, one more for you, and oh, it's my favorite. So McKenna, what brings you like the most happiness?
Okay. Let's see. There's a lot of things in life that make me
Yeah.
happy. Um, I'll list a few. One that's very simple and near to my heart is finishing a piece of artwork. That
Yeah.
it's a certain pride that comes with that, and
Mm,
knowing that you put the hours in and you completed a painting, whether it's a commission for somebody or a painting that you're going to hang at your next art show or something that's going to a gallery. I love the feeling I get when I finish a painting. I feel
yeah.
accomplished. Yeah. And then one that's more, I don't know, on an everyday kind of scale that
Mm.
makes me happy is I go almost every week. I go to weekly pub trivia with my family and my friends, and
I
we have
love
the
that.
best time. We have
I
the
want to be
best
on your
time.
team.
It
I
I'm
love trivia.
and the funny thing is I'm awful at trivia, but I love to go because we make up these funny names.
Oh, see,
It's fun.
I'm your phone a friend for useless pop culture. Like,
Cool.
I'm your friend when you want to call me if it's like who married who,
Mhm.
like celebrity gossip. Like,
Mhm.
I don't I have an aptitude for that kind of
We need you on our team, actually,
okay.
Joleen.
Yes. But I love that stuff. And what I have, so Darren and I play a game every day.
Mhm.
We either play cards or cribbage, or right now for the past, oh gosh, maybe year, we've been in a real backgammon phase. So we play backgammon every day. And what I have learned about myself, which no surprise to my life's partner, I hate to lose more than I like to win. So, like, if I win, I'm like, meh. But if I lose, I am like an angry person. I'm, just to him, not to real people,
Right,
like,
right.
but like
Yes.
to him, I get a little salty. Or
Mhm.
like yesterday, he beat me 3 in a row and he said, ha ha. And I was like,
Oh, no,
right?
you didn't.
Right? Like I think I said firmer than I meant. I was like, stop it, like I was actually. And then he started teasing me for being so ridiculous, which I totally deserved.
Oh,
But I hate to lose, but I don't really care about winning. It's dumb. It's weird.
yeah,
I don't know.
it's whatever. I could take it or leave it.
Right? But to the question of what brings me the most happiness is I love playing games with him every day. I
Mhm.
love that just take that tiny little bite out of our day to like do nothing more than be present as a couple and have
Mhm.
fun. And
Mhm.
I love that he is my partner
Mhm.
in life and in business, and he's like my favorite person. So I mean,
That's
children,
great.
I love you, yes, blah blah.
Right, of course.
But but I guess my answer today is having a partner who just fits me so great is really pretty.
Oh,
I know,
I love
gross.
that.
I'm making myself sick. Yuck.
Oh, I've never actually played backgammon before.
What?
I've
Oh,
never played it, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
it's great. It's great. Like we usually do on our lunch break, we usually do 3 games, I would say. And of course, he's an engineer, so there's a log book. There's
Mm,
a log of like wins and losses. And
wow.
oh yeah, it's
He's serious.
serious. Yes.
Mhm.
But we love it. Highly recommend. And portable.
Okay.
and doesn't last forever, and
Yeah.
easy to learn too. So
Very good.
I
I'll look it up.
all right, McKenna, may I just say, you have been absolutely delightful. I am so glad that we found you and that you had time in your schedule to come and spend with us. So
Yeah,
thank you so much for being here. It has been just an absolute treat, like absolute treat. And I
thank
do
you.
hope for those of you who've been with me today that you'll find me again on November 19th. Sarah Snidelman is my guest, and she is a fourth generation physician, accomplished author, and healer. And what she does is she works with restoring the soul and connecting art on the outside to what's going on the inside. So that's going to be a pretty awesome conversation. And I hope you can join me on the 19th of November. Everything that McKenna and I talked about today will be listed in our show notes. We will make sure that she is easy for you to find. Remember, there is a link for the sale of the calendar that is over, and she opened it up for our community, so go give that a look. There's also going to be the link to the PDF about the 11 ways, and they were called Creative Pursuits, 11 ways to generate creativity. So McKenna, thank you so much.
Thank you. This has been a pleasure.
Oh, ours for sure. Crafty Time community, thank you so much. And please find all kinds of ways to stay happy until I see you next time. All right. Bye, everybody.